Hello, everybody. Here is a windy Tuesday morning in Las Vegas, but we are seeing relief from the heat. Isn't that a good thing? You know, here in the desert, we've learned the value of water. If you would look at my yard, you would understand that water is critical. We are coming out of, I think it's 100 days, or a little more, 120 days or so of triple-digit heat. And more than that, of no rain here in the Las Vegas Valley. And we've learned the value of water. I'm sure that I will pay the price for that in my water bill this month because my yard is taking a beating in this heat. But here we are. It's windy. The temperature is dropping. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. It was 89. And right now, looking over at my thermometer, it's 75. So 14 degrees dropped in the last few hours because we got a cool north wind blowing in. You know, it reminded me, in a way of a verse of mine that's a favorite of mine in Proverbs 25, I believe it is, maybe around verse 25. It says, like a cool drink of water is good news from a distant land. Cool drink of water. So we are not separated and distant in terms of miles, but we are in terms of lockdown and not being able to see each other as we're accustomed. And so we're distant from one another. And so this morning, I just want to bring you a cool drink of water. Oh, that's good stuff. Like a cool drink of water to a thirsty soul is good news from a far land or a distant land. This week, as I do the podcast, I want to share with you some favorite verses of mine and tell you why they are favorite verses and tell you a little of the circumstances in which these verses became favorite verses of mine. And so the first one I would like to share with you is out of Psalm 27, where David is putting it in context. David is saying, you know, I'm surrounded by enemies. I have people saying all kinds of bad things about me, but I am learning how to encourage myself in the Lord. So let's read beginning. This is Psalm 27, verse 11, 12, and 13. It says this: Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me in a smooth path. You know, when you're in trouble, you want a smooth path. You know, when it's not obvious which way to go, you want the stones and the debris removed. And so that's David's cry. David says, I got people around me that are plotting my demise, and I need a clear path forward. So God, do that. Lead me in a smooth path because of my enemies. Do not deliver me to the will of my adversaries. In other words, don't let the plans that other people are making for me shape my life. For false witnesses have risen against me, and such as breathe out violence. And here's the verse exactly. I would have lost heart. Some translations, my courage would have failed. I would have lost heart unless I had believed to see that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I'll read that once more. I would have lost heart unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And so he's saying, look, I know that there's a heaven, and someday everything wraps up, and everything that God has in mind planned for us will be seen, and it's all going to be good then. But I don't want to wait till heaven. I want to see the goodness of God in my life while I'm still alive. In the land of the living, I want to see the goodness of God. And so David said, no matter what else is happening, I believe I will yet see the goodness of God. And he says, if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't have the courage to face what I have to face in my life. And so I'm not sure what exactly you're facing, other than we all are certainly getting tired of being locked up in our houses. It was kind of a novelty at first to work from home. But if you're like me, I'm done with these four walls. You may even hear the wind in the background. I've got my house wide open and the wind is blowing right through. And it's because I'm tired of being locked down in these four walls. And so it was a novelty at first, but that's getting old. And, sometimes just as you get weary of the routine, you get weary of the pressure, you get weary of the restriction of not being able to do what normally you would do. And so that wears on a person. And you could lose courage, you could lose hope, you could feel like giving up at times. But here David said, look, this is what I know. In the middle of all the difficulties, I believe I will yet see the goodness of God while I'm alive, not in heaven, not even at some future date, like when I get to be an old man. I believe I'll see the goodness of God right now while I'm yet alive. And so David just gave us a role model here. And I want to encourage you to have that yet in your mind. Look, no matter what else is going on, there's people in our church that are experiencing financial difficulty. They've lost jobs and have no idea if that job will ever be available to them. There's people that have had struggle paying their bills and paying the rent and not sure if the house, the roof over their heads is secure. So there's trouble in our future. And in the middle of that, you have to be able to say to yourself, no matter what else happens, God is in the process of working all things together for my good. I believe I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, not just in heaven, but in the land of the living. And then David wraps up the verse by saying, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he will strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. And so here's David. He's saying, look, in the land of the living, I'm going to see the goodness of God. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. I'm not going to make rash decisions in the middle of the trouble that I'm going through. I'm going to wait on the Lord. I'm going to spend time in his word. I'm going to spend time in prayer. I'm going to worship him. I'm going to wait on the Lord. And I'm not going to make some decision in the moment of stress that I will regret later. But I'm going to wait on the Lord. And so I want to encourage you that way, my friend. That right there should be a cool drink of water to your thirsty soul. Let me encourage you, wait on the Lord. Don't be hasty. Don't be tired of what's going on and just, jump into something because you're just tired of doing nothing. Wait on the Lord. He'll lead you in a smooth path because of your enemies. So if you'll do that, you'll discover that as you're going along, God's going to strengthen your courage, going to give you a heart, going to give you hope. This isn't the end. This is a transition phase where we end one season and move into a new season, and it's going to be a phenomenal season. I believe that for you and your life, not just in terms of our church. We're in a transition season where the church is in the process of transitioning from my leadership to John's leadership. And so there's that transition. But it's a transition for us personally as well, you personally, where the things that you've known, the routine that you've had, you're not able to do that right now. And so instead, let us just say, I believe God is wanting to bring me into something new, that I don't need to just keep doing all the same things that I've always done. God is opening doors for me to move into some new things. And so wait on the Lord. Don't be hasty or rash. Wait on the Lord. Wait, I say, on the Lord. All right. God bless you, my friends. That's good stuff.